you took a social media fast. That's another thing I wanted to talk with you about. I don't know when that started specifically, but I know it started during the period of time where we were doing our podcast. Because I was like, hey, reshare this content, bro. The first podcast we did. He was like, no, I can't. I'm off social media right now. And I was like, no. But that's okay. I'm sure you had a good reason for it. So that's what I'm going to ask you about. I would love to know, have you found the social media fast beneficial, and what specifically does that look like for you? I know everyone does it a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, bro, it is what it is. It happened to be during pot season. That's tough.
Oh, brother.
Oh, man. So it kind of goes in cycles. I would first say that my sister is middle sister is very disciplined in that. She's gone like months, 6 months, however long. Like, I think she's even done a year of just no, like, social media, Instagram, etc. So I think that was like where some of the motivation began, is like seeing her do that and like the benefits of it. Yeah, I don't remember the specific fasting, like what it was that I like, how long, the duration or etc. I know at one point last year, a buddy and I took like a month of zero Instagram and Facebook. And it was mainly just to get off social media, to be more present, be in prayer more. Right now, I've been on a cycle of, during the work week, so Monday through Friday, I'll delete all the apps. So Instagram, Facebook, I'll check LinkedIn once a week on Wednesdays, and then YouTube. So none of that. And then Saturday/Sunday are my 2 days to like look at people's photos, comment on stuff, and like re-download the apps. So that's basically what it's been for the last like probably 2 months. And a buddy and I have been doing that with each other as well. Same buddy that we did the month fast for.
Well, there's that accountability showing up again. Huh? There you go. That's dope, bro. What's the largest benefit that you've experienced from that new, I don't want to call it a restriction, but that new discipline that you've perhaps introduced into your life? What's the largest benefit you've experienced?
Probably being more present, of all things. Sometimes I'll catch myself at a restaurant, in the car, at a stoplight, in my room, whatever it is. And like, if there's a certain window of time, typically the go-to, if there's nothing on my phone of interest, it'll be to some sort of social media, Instagram, etc. So by deleting those things or not having them, it causes me just to be, okay, well, instead of 30 seconds looking at some reels and photos, it's okay, well, there's nothing to look at on my phone. Outside of that, it's less tempting. And so it's just easier to be more present with people or situations, etc.
That's interesting. That's good. I never took up the social media fast personally. I don't know if my sister did. Maybe she did, and she experimented with that. But my unique perspective on that, I think, has always been, whatever I'm trying to get out of my social media usage or lack thereof to limit that usage, should be something that builds discipline and motivation to the point where I wouldn't need to delete the apps in order to be more of what I want to be, whether it be present, whether it be focused, etc. And so in doing that, thankfully, this coincided with the whole For You algorithm swap over. I don't know how familiar you are with how algorithms have changed over the last few years, but you used to get a lot more content from people you followed, maybe late teens, like 2010s and such. In the early 2020s, around COVID time, algorithms started switching over to For You. And so instead of seeing videos just from people you follow, you started seeing more videos from other people you don't follow about similar topics that you show interest in based on your watch time. And so that was super helpful for me, and that was super timely, because a lot of the stuff that would show up on my social media feed that I didn't want to see is stuff that I now had the power, let's say, to change with my own habits. And so for me, that just looked like retooling my entire page, because when they switched over, right, they're going to show you a lot of the popular videos that everyone's watching. A lot of that stuff is not great. They also market some stuff to guys that's not great. And I'm sure you and I both know what that feels like, to be guys exposed to different content online that's just not productive for us, that's overly sexual in nature, etc. And so that's what they'll pump to you initially. But then over time, I was like, okay, let me go find the stuff that I actually want to see. And over time, my algorithm completely changed. And it actually changes a lot regularly too. Like when I was dating Tabea, my wife, it was a lot of stuff that was related to dating. Then over time, it became a lot of stuff related to marriage when we got married. Just based on the people I followed and the people I unfollowed also, the content that was being recommended to me based on those changes also really helped shape my social media algorithm to the point where it was working for me. And now when I look at social media, I'm getting valuable stuff on a day-to-day basis that helps me be more present, more engaged, and more involved with the people that I'm around. So it'll be faith-based stuff on my feed, some sports news, some news, etc. And so I think that is something I benefited from, which is why I'm super interested to hear from the people who've done the more traditional, modern social media fast, because it's two different approaches, and I'm curious to see how you guys benefit from that pursuit compared to what I did. It's very interesting to me.
Have you heard of it's a Netflix documentary. It's man, now I'm of course blanking on it. It is called The Social Dilemma. So it's a documentary, covers the negative social aspect. The documentary covers the negative social effects of social media and is interspersed by dramatized narratives surrounding a family of 5 who are increasingly affected by the problematic social media use. It came out in 2020. It's on Netflix, and it just talks about the damages social media can cause, specifically when it is the algorithms, and there's these engineers in Silicon Valley that are feeding you stuff based off of what you're clicking on or talking about or et cetera. And the whole point of their algorithm is to keep you longer so that you would potentially benefit from, they would benefit, or the companies would benefit from either your time or your purchases or et cetera. And the problem is it causes people to be so focused on their social media, they're forgetting what's out here. And dude, I think even from a biblical standpoint, when God made Adam and Eve and Abraham and Isaac and Noah and Moses, these guys didn't have social media. It was them. It was God. God was their influencer. God was their creator, is their creator. He was their, right? And
bars. Keep spitting them.
Oh, brother.
That's what you're here for.
Dude, Moses was like, bro, check out this reel as the part the Red Sea. Like, you don't need, what is it, 3D, 4K, right? The water coming out of the movie theater screens, because, bro, they're walking through a wall of water.
They lived the virality.
Right? And it's like, I think in some ways that can replace it. And dude, Romans 1, it talks about how
I knew there's a reason you brought that book.
People did not worship the creator, but the created thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Romans 1:21, for even though they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks, but they became futile in their speculations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the incorruptible God for an image in the form of a corruptible man, and of birds, and four-footed animals, and crawling creatures. Therefore, God gave them over to the lust of their hearts, to impurity, so that their bodies would be dishonored among them. They exchanged the truth of God for a lie, and worshipped and served the creature rather than the creator, who is forever blessed. Amen. The context of this is about non-believers, and specifically those who give into homosexual relationships. But I think we could be fair to say that at times we can take things like social media and technology and etc. and let that be something we worship. And it's like, man, like we have these really nice TVs that have beautiful pictures that are 4K, etc. And we'll put on like a mural of Hawaii or like the beach or Amazon rainforest or whatever, and you're looking at this beautiful picture on a digital television instead of going out and saying, man, like what a blessing we live in Colorado and look at these mountains that God has created. There's nothing that mankind can make that can replace that. And I believe biblically that's where God wants us, is out in his creation, because when we see his creation, it stirs our affections for the creator because we know that mankind hasn't made it. But if we're too tunnel vision and focused on social media or different things, we're going to be one, consumed with consumerism and materialism, and then two, we're going to be our eyes just won't be on God as they could be or ought to be. They'll be on other things.
Yeah, that's so true. It's really easy to fall into that too. I'm a big sucker for presentation value, and let me tell you, there's not much that beats a nice little panorama of nature or whatever it is that you're looking at on the television. So got to get back out into society and into the world to see how amazing God is as a creator and how beautiful life is just in general, to see how much bigger life is than you. That's when we get in the most struggle with our own perspective, is when we just narrow life down to whatever circumstances we're dealing with on any given day, any given week. And we don't really take the time to zoom out and realize, wait, we're part of a much bigger story at the end of the day. So yeah, man, that's a good reason to get outside and explore creation.